going through a certain situation, it normally is for someone else, or you'll go through a situation that God has taken you through. It normally is to help encourage somebody. And as I begin to sit there and I begin to look at Job and begin to look at the things that happened to Job all in one day, I couldn't help but to somehow begin to feel what Job was going through. I could sometimes, like, you know, how God puts us in different places, and we go through situations where we don't know why we're in these situations, or why we're going through these situations. But sometimes it's not for us. Most of the time it's not for us. It's to help build someone else that may be going up or going through something, or maybe a situation where they're getting ready to go into something that you're familiar with. You to be a help to them. Yes. And as I begin to really look at Job and the life of Job, I began to look at where he was from. The Bible said that he's from a land called Ur, which was a well-educated land. It was a land that was used to, by way of the ships would come through the Persian Gulf, and they would bring off the alabaster, which was used to help statues, the making of statues, and it was a land that was good for copper and and ivory, gold, and hardwood. So Job was used to some fine things in life. Even though we read about him later on down, but he was used, as he was coming up, he was used to these fine things. And I know that Job is a familiar book in the Bible, and I'm pretty sure if I asked tonight, someone would probably tell me that they've heard a message talking about Job being faithful, and someone would probably tell me that they heard a message about him being patient, and even somebody would probably tell me that they heard a message about him, that his friends wanted him to say that he had sinned, or even his wife wanted him to curse God and die. Yes. Well, I come tonight not to change any of the messages you may have heard, but just to add to it just a little bit. Yes. Because God is still saying those things tonight. He's still saying to be faithful. He's still saying to be patient. But tonight, God is saying enough is enough. God is saying tonight that enough is enough for God's people. Yes. And as we came into the new year, I will remember what my pastor said. He said that this is going to be a year of miracles, and we're going to be walking into a different level, and God's going to get ready to take us to a place. I keep hearing the things over what God is getting ready to do for this ministry and where we're getting ready to go. And I could just listen to as Job was just going through all of his afflictions and how he was beginning to not lose the faith. But as I was just looking at the Bible, it says that Job was a great man. He was perfect, meaning he was without fault. He was upright man. He was straight. He eschewed evil, which means the very presence of evil been around him. He was away from around it. He had nothing to do with it. He was a man that was with great wealth and great livestock, and he had the complete family. And the Bible even goes on to tell us that he was the greatest man of all the East. And in today's time, my young kids will tell me that if someone in this day and time had what Job had, they will say that he has it going on today. Yes, and Job, he did have it going on today. But while in the midst of Job's trial and in his tribulation, he realized only the gold is worth being put to the fire. Anything else will be consumed. As James said, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Still, while I was reading Job, and I kind of beginning to start to feel a little bit for Job, started feeling a little sorry for him, and started to feel that Job, didn't deserve all this, because Job wasn't like us. See, we had a better hand than Job had, because we got a chance to read the back of the book, and the back of the book let us know that we won. But see, Job didn't know that. He didn't know in the midst of, as he was going through all his problems, that it was going to be all right, and he was going to win. He was, as Elder Watkins said, that he's victorious. He had victorious over all the situations. He didn't know that all he was going through is going through because God told him when the enemy had come to God and wanted to, God told him, said, have you considered my servant Job? So God knew something that was in Job that Job didn't even know was there. And I thank God for just showing that to me, that even time we be going through situations, we was like, Lord, I can't handle this, man. This is not something I want to go through, and this is something I can't bear it. But God knows that we can handle it. He's not going to put anything upon us that we can handle. So when we're going through those situations where we seem like it's so chaotic and and we're not going to be able to make it through this, no. We're not going to be able to have a testimony out of this one. Right. This is what God is building up in us. He's building testimonies up in us for us to go forward.
Yes.
Because he's saying that he has left one to escape. And that one that he's left to escape is us. It's the children of God to go out to preach and to minister and to lay hands on those that are bound and to witness to those and to draw those souls. We have only escaped to be a messenger of God on tonight. So I challenge you to take hold to what God is saying there, what Job was saying. God always left us. I was looking at the scripture and he always left one to go back and tell what happened.
Yes, yes.
God is always going to leave a messenger for his message to get out. It has to be like that because he wants us to know that he's going to be there no matter what. He's going to be there for us in the end. And as I was going on and I was thinking about, as far as Job, and he must have realized